ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned into, you are now tuned into Raw City Underground.
Basically, people got to remember that everybody's job in this game is to bring something to the table. That's your job in this game. If you come into this game, you got to leave something behind. You got to bring something to the table and leave it behind when you're gone. You know, create a legacy.
I got to get my props and win it, yo. I got to get my props and win it, yo. I got to get my props and win it, yo.
You got to do you.
We're tuned into Raw City Underground.
Yo, you just tuned into Raw City Underground. We got my man B-BOY SMURF in the building.
B-BOY SMURF in the place to be.
Jon BE right here, All Aspects Crew.
Yo, man, what's up, bro? How you doing?
How you feeling out here, man?
Chilling, bro.
We good,
What's up, John?
Good.
It's good to see you,
Thanks
bro.
for having
Yo,
me.
we wanted to have you on the show, you know what I'm saying? We want to ask you a couple questions. So, one thing I wanted to definitely touch base on is, you know, how many years you been B-boying?
I've been B-boying, almost 20 years, man. Yeah, almost 20 years.
Nice.
I've been around hip-hop my whole life, really. You know?
What age? When did you start?
My uncle was a popper. I haven't told you this, man. My uncle was a popper back in the days.
That's correct.
In LA. They used to call him Calzon. So big shout outs to my uncle Malvin, Big Calzon from LA. He was a popper. He was an LA OG. And when I was a kid, he introduced me to Electric Boogaloo.
Damn.
You know, but I didn't know what was going on. I just, I saw it and I saw the popping and shit. But it was like in the 90s, in the early 90s, I started breaking, man. I started graffiti in 93 and started really breaking in 94, 95. Somewhere in 95. It's like, that's when you started?
Yeah, 93, same year, man.
1993.
Yeah.
Just coming from that era, how was it?
It was different from what it was now, you know. I was a kid and I wasn't able to go out. So most of my missions were just to go out doing graffiti. You know, B-boying wasn't a priority. It was just me, like, sneaking out the house while I was throwing out the trash when I was 12. And I'm running around the block, tagging up some walls, and then running back home. That's really how I got into this culture. And then I saw a kid in my neighborhood breaking, and we started breaking and doing graffiti for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped doing graffiti when I turned 18 because I was getting arrested a lot.
So you started off with two elements, you know, I mean, right out the gates. And you're still doing art today, man. I mean, you're a tattoo artist, man, and still doing all aspects of art, really. You know, I mean, you're doing paintings, got a painting in the studio here. I mean, you've done a lot of stuff from that time frame, man. I mean, how'd you progress into B-BOY SMURF? You know what I'm saying, from that era?
I don't know. I just don't think about it. And what I do, I just create, you know? Yeah. Like every day I just create, and I create what I know how to create and what to create and what looks dope to me. So hip hop is my influence. So most of the stuff I like, even though it's not hip hop, it's hip hop-ish. You know, like when I do my tattooing, I like hard, bold black lines and a nice filler, just like a bomb. Like when you do a throw up, you have a piece and you have a nice filler, and it's simple, it's easily to read, it's the traditional. So my tattooing is really based off of the tradition of anything, really.
Kind of like a coat bomb.
Like a what?
Like coat?
Yeah, like coat.
Like
just
coat.
simple throw up.
He had that simple throw
clean,
up.
the lines have to be perfect. It has to be like mapped out.
And he used to kill walls.
And
like I was just watching a
walls.
crazy documentary on him, and he used to go around and he would bomb his name like 10 times on the same wall.
Yeah.
But the way it looked, like all different styles.
But if you look at it, it was like perfect. Each one was perfect.
Like it's trademark.
You know, like it's crazy. Even the filler, even when you like speed up the filler and you're rushing it, the lines and the balance of it is still even.
So what inspires you of doing paint?
In the beginning, it was a rush. You know, like being in my boy's car, running around town. Like, you know, we used to be for crews. You know how it is in LA. Go to other neighborhoods and like homies crack somebody in the head. We run away. They catch one of us. So it was really the rush of just being in LA and beefing with other people. The LA graffiti culture is like that. You know, it's just a lot of people beefing. But I was really the smallest one in my crew. So a lot of my crew members were just pushing me to stay away from that and go into breaking.
Yeah.
You know, so I really gotta thank them for it. Big shout outs to Jokes, GAC crew and KCA.
Damn, you never forget these cats,
No,
huh?
I know. My homie Aegis from AIS, he just hit me up on Instagram a couple days ago, you know. So all my homies that I grew up with when I was like 12, 13, they're still around.
Still tight, yeah.
But they're not, you know, they're not B-boys and shit, but they're graph writers and they're still writing and shit.
So they just carried it on.
They had kids, you know, some of them are not here with us.
Yeah.
But some of them had kids and they're still writers, but they're not crazy like that, you know?
One thing I wanted to, give a big shout out to my man Animation.
Oh man, rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
man.
Animation, y'all.
rest
Big
in
Animation.
peace.
Inspiration, man. Inspiration
He was
for years, man.
He was a guy that came out, put in a lot of work for Air Force Crew in LA, one of the West Coast main crews. And, just to hear the tragedy, man, it broke my heart, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Tripping, bro.
He was doing shows, He had just left shows when he got hit.
Oh wow.
He literally left from the strip, And yeah, man, Animation.
But we want to give a big tribute out and shout out and and get a little
pay respects, man. Pay respects.
Yeah, big Animation.
And a lot of people don't know this, but Smurf came up with Animation doing street shows. I mean, all up in LA, all the way up.
My first street
Vegas,
show was Animation.
I mean, big inspiration for him.
Big
man,
Animation.
So.
The reason I know Casper is because of Animation. That's what's crazy, He brought him over to the house, and it was just Animation was just a big part of our lives. So it's like for him to be gone, it's like it sucks, but at the same time we just gotta take what he did for us, and we gotta do it for somebody else.
I feel
That's right, man. Because
dope,
he brought a lot of people into street shows and showed them how to hustle and make money and kept that street, that rawness culture of the culture going for generations. I mean,
yeah, he did.
Just a legend, man.
Maybe I'm incorrect, but I think he brought in Little Caesar. I think Little Caesar was one of the first. Like Little Caesar started with Animation. Like
him and Chuco.
Yeah.
Like they were.
Shout out to Little Caesar too.
Yeah, shout out to Little Caesar.
Air Force Crew in general.
Air Force Crew. Radiotron, man. Big props to Radiotron is one of the main reasons I'm here.
Absolutely,
so thank you, Radiotron.
Inspiration to all of us at different times of our lives, for sure, man.
I mean, you inspire me a lot, like through hip hop in general, because what you do. How can you pass that down to the next generation?
I think that whatever we do, if we do it consistently, then it becomes something. And like that's what kids need to look at. They need to look at us and see that we're consistent so they can become consistent. Because sometimes we argue about kids having no attention span. We're everywhere and we're like that too,
Yeah.
But at the same time, if like, we stay consistent with what we're doing, like you stay consistent with your dancing, with your art, with your whatever it is, then kids growing up see you being consistent, and without them knowing it, you set an example for them to be consistent.
So it's without even trying.
You can't, because if you try, it's not really who you are.
So how can we follow you on Instagram?
Well, if you get an app, it's called Instagram. That's how you follow me on fucking Instagram. Put B-BOY SMURF in the hashtag at B-BOY SMURF. BBOY SMURF. Now, if we can have the little letters pop up right here, right now, that'd be awesome.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, it's sad. Hey, one question we have for you too, man. I mean, this can get really deep, but how do you feel about hip hop right now and the current state of the b-boy scene and just the different elements where they're all kind of separated right now? How do you feel?
I think they were always separated, even from the beginning it was always separate. I mean, sometimes you have b-boys that DJ, b-boys that graph writers, but from my understanding in the beginning of it, everybody was already doing their own thing and they were just brought together by the parties, So I think that's what really holds it together.
But when you went to jams and stuff, didn't you see a lot of graph writers kicking it with b-boys? A lot of
in the beginning, yeah. In the beginning, b-boys were graph writers.
It was a mix.
Yeah. You had to do like everything. You had to do everything.
So what happened? What happened?
Sometimes I wonder that myself, and I think that hip hop is just an organic thing that's living and that's growing every minute of every day because of who's involved in it. So hip hop is just where the masses are at. So whatever I think hip hop is different from what you think and what you think. Yeah. Everybody has a different definition of what hip hop is.
But we all know our basic fundamentals of hip hop.
The struggle.
The roots.
I think the struggle is hip hop. Maybe that's the key, like being able to use it as an outlet. Yeah. Because hip hop to you was that. Hip hop to you was that. Yeah. To me it's different. To a kid growing up right now, it's Casper on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like maybe just the wanting to escape a situation and like seeing somebody on the internet and like, oh shit, the way he walks around and does this, like that's an escape for them because they're trying to feel like how that person feels.
You're right.
So I think that maybe there's a confusion between an outlet and biting, because then you see somebody doing something, you want to feel like them, so then you do everything they do.
Yo, so honestly, I wanted to touch base of how you created the Breakbeat Cowboys. We'll give you the name.
So Breakbeat Cowboys started. I was living in Bordeaux in France with my boy Teddy, and I was out there for a while, man. And I was like not bored, but I felt like I could give back to the community, So I figured I threw an event. And my first event that I threw was in LA. It's called Flow Rider. It's like Low Rider, but Flow Rider. Yeah, but another event started popping off with the same name. So I was in France. I'm from the western part of the world, which is the US. We're fucking cowboys. So I wanted to bring that feeling of the western world to Europe. So I threw Breakbeat Cowboys, and I made everybody come in with cowboy hats. We had costumes.
Wild West.
And it was a success, man. A lot of people came out from like all over Europe. And the winner was B-Boy Nintendo from Tunisia. He won it. And it was a dope event. I got a lot of support. Came back to the US, and we keep it rolling.
And how was it living in France?
It was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. I was just tattooing out of a small apartment and just doing events. I was traveling to different cities every week just trying to do something. You know, I would like go to an event, gather up some B-boys. After the event, rent a hotel room, tattoo the B-boys of that city that same night, run up to the next city. Like, I was just going Portugal, Italy, Switzerland, Belgium. I was just everywhere. So,
that's hip-hop right there.
Yeah,
That's for real,
I was just tattooing. So all the B-boys I got tattooed.
Leaving your mark on everybody,
I
man.
left marks on y'all motherfuckers out there. Big
I
shout out
got
to
marks on me
Animaniacs.
from this cat right here.
Teddy,
you know?
Animaniacs crew in France. Thank you guys. They're really the ones that helped me put Breakbeat Cowboys together. And Spen did the flyer for this year. As you guys can see, the fresh artwork. It's on the screen now. So,
And
shout out to Spen One.
which
Oh,
event?
big shout outs. Hold on, I'm sorry. Big shout outs to Get Busy. Those are my sponsors. They're the ones that actually putting up the $1,000. So if you guys know how hard it is to get a sponsor to put up $1,000 and just invest in a dream, it's really difficult to make that shit happen. So big shout outs to Get Busy.
Shout out, man, for sure. That's support right there, man.
Yeah.
That is hard work to go through and put your name on something and get sponsors to actually kick in and see your vision, man.
Yeah.
So that's dope, man. Big shots.
It's fun. It's fun. Breakbeat Cowboys, January 7th, breakbeatcowboys.com.
So you guys need to support that event. You know, there's a lot of events going on, and yeah, we just need to all support each other. It's hip hop. It's all love here, and that's one of my main bases of having this show. You know, for cats like me, cats like Smurf, cats like Jon can express the way they feel about hip hop.
And I think that it was up to us as the older generation in this community to like create a platform so we can own our own shit, you know. So like we have our own voice and we have our own media and we have our own events, and it's time for us to like take over it. Even if we're not giving out $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 of an event, we should be throwing out $50 events once a month. And if every B-boy throws an event, we'll have so many events, we'll grow, and it'll be up to us to control it. So, you know, hopefully that's where it goes.
For sure, it's all that support, man. And you know, another reason we're doing the show is just the culture gap. You know, I feel like us doing the show is a way to give back, you know, to the community and to kind of fill in those gaps over the years that maybe some of these new cats that have gotten into b-boying or graph or DJing or MCing that they're missing where that culture came from and the roots, you know, and to get that rawness, you have to know where it came from, you know. I mean, you have to at least pay homage to some of the cats that paved the way, like Ruen, like Smurf, you know what I'm saying? That put in hard work and blood, sweat, and tears to make.
You don't even gotta pay homage. Just if like Ruen puts out a podcast, if you get inspired by him, go download it. Go tell your friends about it. You know, go get a crew together. Everybody get together and watch it. Like people get together and smoke all day. Get together and watch the footage. Get together and watch the podcast. You know, get together and spread the love. So that's what it's all about.
Yo, we want to give mad shout outs to everyone that is doing podcasts at the moment. You know, I know one of my man Profo One from Floor Gangs is putting it down right now.
Bay Area,
and if you're watching, bro, I want to give you mad shout outs. And
big shout outs to Profo for real.
Yeah, man, we're trying to keep this shit alive.
Big props to Rock Dance Forum.
Rock Dance Forum.
Keeping it right, you know.
It's Profo shit.
For sure.
Keep that up.
Him and his crew.
We got more in the next episode, so for Rock Dance Forum, so you guys need to definitely check that out.
Man, this is beautiful, man. I love it.
It's definitely productive, and you know, you're a great man to speak to, man. I just want to definitely
thank you, man.
Thank you for your time,
love
Smurf.
to have you on the show.
Thank you guys.
And,
Anytime you guys
thank you for your
have time
time,
for me.
bro. You know what I'm saying? You just tuned into Raw City Underground. Peace, y'all.